All right, so we got the season reveal for Year 7 season, I believe it's 3. And in honesty, I think this might be the most underwhelming reveal yet. This is what I'm predicting. I don't know anything of the new season. I'm assuming that we're not going to hear anything in terms of a new anti-cheat or anything like that. But, you know, maybe they'll surprise me, and let's see.
Season 3, Operation Brutal Swarm, is a huge season for us. It's setting a lot of the foundational pillars that we want to build off of in the coming seasons. And so there's some big stuff coming. We have Grimm, who's a new operator from Singapore, who's joining Nighthaven, who's a fantastic, aggressive intel gatherer. And we also have an additional map coming to the mix.
Okay, let me just say this. If there wasn't a cheater issue, I would be like 100% hyped right now, because like that operator, he looks amazing. Like, it looks so cool, looks badass. But the issue here is, no matter what they release, we're going to have a underlining issue of we cannot enjoy the game. And why is Ubisoft acting so casual about these issues? Like, we're not hearing anything about cheaters
That we hadn't planned on before, and it's a nice surprise for our community. And we have some interesting updates that are really important to us.
Are they adding in that
the reputation system, the next phase of it coming online? This season focuses on a squad that you already know. It's Nighthaven. It's led by Callie, and it's officially split off from the Rainbow Six group. We see Grimm joining the squad now, and we'll get even more information about what the squad is up to at the launch of the season.
I'm assuming this is just lore type stuff, like timeline and story based, but like whenever they release this type of stuff at the event, I'm always confused because I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm assuming once again they're talking about the lore and the story behind each operator, but I don't know.
We've already communicated with the community about changes that are happening to the roadmap. We saw our map from season 3 slip to season 4, but we also wanted to create some surprises as well, which is an additional map that you all know and love already. We also wanted to highlight some of the changes that we're making to the reputation system. We're introducing some features today in the new season, but they also set up new changes for the next season as well.
Now that you've heard more about what's coming, it's time to see it in action. Here's a teaser of Operation Brutal Swarm gameplay from our friend Chris Waters and the Ubisoft News team.
One thing I do want to say, whenever I see Ubisoft gameplay or like from the devs, it is a little funny because, you know, they're just vibing and having some fun, man. What is this? Like a bunch of bees?
Grim for any defenders who like to stay undetected, as Operation Brutal Swarm brings a new intel gathering operator to the attack. His name is Grimm, and his gadget can reveal enemy positions from a safe distance with bees. Micro air vehicles, technically, but once you're in the swarm and getting pinged repeatedly, you'll have bigger problems to deal with.
Am I the only one that's not really a fan of operators like this? Even like in games like, for example, Valorant, where we had a agent called Fade. And it's like one of those like characters that you kind of click a button and put it in a general direction and it kind of leads you. If you know anything about Valorant, basically there's her dog. You can literally lead it in a direction and it locks onto people. And I feel like this is just one of those, you know, not lazy, but like it's like, you know, it really messes up the skill gap in a game like this, because now I can just like shoot my B things in a random corner and then get some like alibi pings, and you know, I don't know.
Operation Brutal Swarm is also introducing the Stadium map into the competitive pool, as well as updating the recoil system and making weapon attachments more impactful. Plus, a new impact EMP grenade arrives to give more attackers the power to
that's really cool.
lights. All this and more is coming with Operation Brutal Swarm, and your deeper look at it all continues now.
Grimm joins the attackers with a high-tech gadget that can shake up the defenders' positions. Our game designer, Matthew Lacombe, is here to give you more intel about it, but first, we're going to dive into the design and development of Grimm with concept artist Sunshine Kim and director of gameplay design Jeremy Cavan.
Yeah, no, this operator looks like cool as hell though, in all honesty.
Our character concept artist, NJ Tutai, who worked on iconic siege operators such as Sledge, Valkyrie, Lion, and Nook, has brought us another amazing design for our newest operator, Grimm.
Whoever's making these operators, like that they just listed, keep that guy for like every single operator. Like amazing work on every single operator that they listed. Sledge is literally my favorite operator in the game. Knock is like one of the most unique looking operators. Same with Lion, like, and now Grimm looks so cool.
This one was an interesting assignment for us because Grimm is a very traditional grounded soldier who
That'd be a
might not
badass
be
skin.
seen as a member of Nighthaven at first sight. We see this traditional soldier like Grimm standing among all these colorful operators, which creates this interesting dynamic. And Grimm's supposed to be a little bit outcast, and he needs to stand out a little bit. So it creates an interesting question: why does this guy belong to Nighthaven? What makes Kali trust this guy? It was really fun to explore this character and the designs based on this dynamic. We wanted his design to really reflect the history of Grimm's life, the countless battles and missions that he's been through. So we researched a lot of MMA fighters and athletes to really capture that history of a veteran soldier. What I personally really like about Grimm is that he's a big, giant, buffed guy that, as far as I remember, we don't really have this kind of silhouette, at least in Asian male characters.
That was a very rich fantasy that could lead to really interesting visual experiences. Grimm's gadget.
Okay, let me not lie. Like, the gadget itself looks amazing. It looks really cool, even though it just looks like a bunch of bees or flies. It is very unique. Hopefully it doesn't break the game, but it is really cool looking.
That is made of a few parts. The tracking device is a microtech bot. We call it B-bot. It can fly in the air, it's battery powered, and it can last for a couple of seconds. In idle position, this bot is plugged into a bulletproof electronic canister. And when this canister lands on a valid position, the swarm spreads out of it. This canister is protected by a projectile that can open when it's hit on a valid surface. And finally, we wanted to play with the mix between low-tech and high-tech to create a unique identity for this operator. And that's why we gave him this over-the-shoulder classic launcher that he used to throw the projectile. We really like the feeling when you are inside the swarm.
I'm not gonna lie, when it looks very weird. It looks like a weird 3D like a green screen effect, like these bees.
We really love this feeling, and we are thrilled to present that to our player today.
The K1 Hive launcher is Grimm's gadget. It's a over-the-shoulder bazooka kind of launcher. You equip it similar to what you would do with Ash or Zofia. It shoots a projectile that will travel in a straight line. It will stick to the surface it's shot at. Once it sticks to a surface, it will release a canister. If it's on the floor, it will just open. The effect will take place there. If it's stuck on the wall, it will.
Wait, I just realized. Did I just see the pinging? It is like insanely accurate. What? Like, please tell me that's not it. Because then, can you imagine getting jackal tracked, lioned, and then that? It's like Lion 2.0, like nerf, but with like wall hacks basically. Watch this.
It will stick to the surface it's shot at. Once it sticks to a surface, it will release a canister. If it's on
Look.
the floor, it will just open. The effect will take place there. If it's stuck on the wall, it will propel it down on the floor. So the effect will be generated from this canister. The effect itself is a swarm of bots, really a cloud of robotic bees. They reveal any defenders that would be inside the swarm. They will be tracked in live action, so the red mark will follow them as they move around. And last part is the decay and the debuff that you will have once you leave the swarm. This is the small beast that sticks to you as you leave. You will get pinged 3 times in a short period of time, similar to the alibi decoy that we have in the game already. We're really happy to tell you that Grimm is a 3-speed, 1-health attacker. It's been a while since we had one of those, and it really goes with the rest of the loadout. We have the 5.52 Commando as a primary assault rifle. You know how,
I like the Commando.
How reliable, how good it is. But we also have the shotgun, the SG CQB, as another primary option. It's one of the first time that we have an operator that uses a shotgun and is a 3-speed.
Oh, great.
If you remember, you remember, but for this time, it's the first named operator that we have. In the secondary weapon, we have the P229. For the secondary gadgets, we have the breach charge. It adds a layer of verticality to Grimm. You can place the breach charge on the floor, shoot the gadget through the bars, so you're now funneling the defenders from the top floor. So it really adds another layer to this gadget. Or you can go with the Claymore. It's a really natural progression with this gadget. You shoot it in the doorway, there's no one in there because you don't have any marks, or there's no one, you don't hear anyone. You can go place a Claymore now, like you secured something. So it's really like a natural progression of the gadget. Grimm's role is part entry. You want him inside the building first. You have a really good gadget to hunt down.
I like his running animation.
3 speeds, so you're as quick as them. You have the good weapon to go to pick those fights, and you have the ability to funnel them inside some rooms with your gadget. You shoot this in a doorway, the defenders cannot go in there. Like, you know they won't cross this door, and if they do, everyone on the team will be alerted. We want to have an attacker that is about aggression. We've had operators that were planning heavy, you had to think about what you were doing, but Grimm's is a bit more on the instinct. You have this launcher that denies some area, you have the assault rifle to take areas, so it's really, you're bringing...
How many of these does he get, like 3 or 4?
Grimm's gadget always succeeds. So if you hit someone, you will have the red mark. Everyone on the team will know that there's something going on. If there's nothing, there's no red mark, well, everyone will know that there's no one in there. So you always succeed with this gadget. Operators like Nomad, Gridlock, they really help you secure the areas that you can attack with the Grimm. If you know that there's a defender stuck inside a room and contesting this with Grimm would be difficult, you can ask Sense or have a smoke grenade to block the line of sight so you can have the launcher get in there. When you know the opposing team has a lot of roamers, Caveras, Bandit, Vigil, you can ask the help from Jackal. He can track them down with their footsteps. So if they move, they leave footsteps. If they move, they might get caught inside Grimm swarms. So it's really a tag team to get around the roamers. Also, you have Lion. Lion really creates this move or don't move. You have this swarm that is creating on you, but Lion is going off. Do I move? Do I not move? Like, it creates interesting situations when you have those operators against the defending team. Mute is one of the greatest counter that we have to Grimm. For Mute, if the canister is stuck inside the Mute Jammer's radius, it won't release the swarm at all. So you will have to take care of the Mute Jammer first before having the effect. If you're standing in the radius of a Mute Jammer and there's a swarm around you, you won't be revealed. If you're affected by the debuff or the DK and you run inside the radius of a Mute Jammer, you will be cleansed. You can think of it similar to the call from Dokubi.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Can be caught by Wamai, Aruni, or Jaeger's gadget. Obviously, Wamai is the most fun one because it will displace the effect, but the other one will get rid of the canister altogether. If the canister hits electricity, be it in a barbed wire or on a wall, it will get destroyed. The way we designed Grimm's gadget, we made sure that there's a lot of specific timings. You can hear the shot. You will hear it stick. You will hear the canister opening, and then there will be the swarm. So there's a lot of timings that you will learn as you play against Grimm, and each one of those is a warning that something is happening. So you have, as a player, the choice of running or fighting. Grimm is a really aggressive attacker. We have the 3-speed, we have the good assault rifle, we have all of the tools to give you an attacker that is really in the face of defenders. So really an aggressive attacker.
Personally, I don't know how I feel about this attacker. I feel like, once again, it's like... I don't know. Like, I don't know, it could be fun. It allows more aggression. Less strategic gameplay. I feel like Siege has almost like gotten away from its roots a lot of the times, and I don't mean to sound like an old head or anything, but I feel like Siege was supposed to be very tactical, and I feel like we're in the least tactical gameplay we've ever been in terms of, like, not even meta, just how people are playing nowadays. I don't know.
At the launch of the last season, Operation Vector Glare, We let you know that the new map originally planned for this season would be delayed to next season. In the meantime, we've got a little surprise for you. The stadium map from the Road to SI event is entering the map pool. Don't ban it. Don't do it. Don't ban it.
It's literally getting banned. Like, I can tell. Like, nobody's playing this map. Like, even though people love this map, in ranked, people will ban it just because they have no idea how to play it. That's the sad reality of map banning. I wish map banning wasn't even a thing.
More on that later. Game designer Josem El Rene is here to share the good news and the details.
Originally for Season 3, we planned to bring you the Singapore map, but we needed some more time to tweak and finish our polished path. So instead, we will be bringing you something else, the stadium map. So the stadium maps are usually only available during the Road to SI event, but it was kind of a missed opportunity to have them only available a couple of weeks while they are full-blown maps. So while internally we always had a lot of fun playing it, we needed a little bit of outside feedback to be sure that it was ready to be brought to the ranked pool.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never played this map.
We asked a couple of pros to workshop and talked with us, and they had a lot of positive feedback about the map. That's pretty much it. We did a couple of tweaks here and there. We brought up the lighting so it's less dark, distributed the spawns so they're equally distributed. And finally, we added the game modes, the team deathmatch, and the PvE elements. We are very excited to bring you this map as a ranked map or even a casual.
Holy shit, map design.
Mainly because it is a familiar yet different feeling, because it's two maps that are merged together, something that our players know, but also there are some flavorful elements like the bulletproof glass, the fact that they are merged together. So it will bring a lot of exciting gameplay from our players. It's always fun to spawn from the gantry, going down toward the map itself. It's a safe and secure spawn that allows you to enter from unconventional ways.
The team is always working on player behavior features. It's important to us, and we know it's important to you. Here's Player Protection and Game Security Director Emmanuel Larive to tell you about the next phase of the reputation system, as well as a long-awaited feature, the ability to report cheaters during match replay.
This should have been a thing since match replay has came out. Oh my god. I'm not even trying to just be negative, but like it frustrates me as a creator and someone that plays a video game and makes content for a video game when we get the bare minimum. Like, I don't understand why the bare minimum should have been when match replay came out. We should have been able to report the cheaters from the match replay from the get-go, and it just like we're getting it what, a year later. But we got it now, so like I'm not gonna like that's cool. That's a W.
Last season we introduced reputation penalties by adding penalties toward the friendly fire. With the new season, we will be adding a new penalty for abusive tech chat. So the people that are abusing the tech chat by sending hateful and abusive content will be detected. They will be reported by
22 matches. Oh my god.
Offenders will be under this new penalty.
Okay, here's the thing I don't like about the penalty. Text chat, I'm 100% on board with that. It's just in terms of friendly fire, like I know for a fact that you've been in a scenario where you're grenading something, you're doing something and your teammate just gets in the way and you just TK by accident. And that can happen if you're very unlucky, like in a game a few times. So like, I feel like maybe that's situational. I hope it is. I don't know really the details of it. I'm just worried about that. But
when the sanction will be triggered on the player, the penalty will occur on several matches. So the person that will be under this penalty will still be able to send text messages. However, only the people that choose to unmute him will be able to see those messages. It's really key that we give player choice to unmute somebody that is under this
That's interesting.
sanction. When the system will be released, there will be a grace period. During this grace period, only warnings will be triggered, no sanction. After this grace period, repeated offender will be under this penalty. The goal will be to remove and reduce the amount of hateful and abusive content.
Holy hell,
that
pull
you
down,
are
my man.
receiving through the tech chat. We want to create a positive environment for everybody. It is key. Communication in your game is key, and we want to provide a safer environment. Match replay is a great addition to the game. It allows you to rewatch your match and improve your strategy. However, we heard you. Your voice is really important. So that's why with Season 3, we will be including reporting options. We totally understand that during a live match, you are not sometimes able to report a player. Sometimes the player disconnected, so there is many scenarios.
Okay, here's once again what I don't like. The reporting system is so vague. I wish you can actually sit here and give like maybe a timestamp of, since we're using match replay, what you're reporting. Maybe add a comment, add something. I feel like other games would have done this. They would have been like round 2 at 56 seconds, you know, I get TK'd, or round 2 and this guy, you know, starts like floor banging everybody, you know, and it seems like that would be a more progressive system overall.
By adding those options to the match replay, you will be able to take the time to review the whole gameplay and report this person. Reporting is really important and key for us. While receiving the reporting, we will be able to investigate and take actions. This will greatly help us to improve our system, but also to better act on those cheaters and distribute the right sanction at the right moment. Your voice is really important. It is key for us. So please continue and use those reporting tools. This new addition to the game will be available on all platforms, PC and console, for everybody. The team put a lot of effort toward all of this new feature. For the future, I'm really excited about what we will be building: reputation system and commendation system. I hope you will enjoy our content.
Bouncing will have an important role in Operation Brutal Swarm.
Jesus.
We're evolving the way we handle weapon recoil, which means the attachments you select will now have a bigger impact. Plus, some of your favorite operators will be getting a new secondary gadget option, the Impact EMP grenade.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that change.
There's exciting news for Rook and Dokivi. Welcome back Alexander Karpazis and Javier Sabarigo from the Bouncing team to tell you more.
So in Brutal Swarm, this is our season of balance. We're taking a good hard look at our weapon handling, and recoil systems, which are scary topics to talk about, but they're very important for our game. One of the biggest changes we're making is separating the balancing between the PC world and the console world. Console will now be tuned separately than any other changes that we're doing on PC right now.
It should have been like that.
That's to make sure that we have player comfort in mind for all of the changes that we do want to make for console.
This is good though. This is really good, because like there's guns on PC that's like you can control pretty easily, and then I see console players and like the recoil on a joystick, when you know it's impossible to control.
That means all of the other changes we're talking about today only affect PC. We're making some changes to the recoil system. What we're looking at with vertical recoil is a stepping ladder of phases for these weapons. For ARs and SMGs, you'll see there's 3 phases, and at each phase, you'll get an increase in recoil. For LMGs, this is even stronger, especially for LMGs on high-capacity magazine weapons. Here, with the horizontal recoil, you can see that the changes aren't as drastic. However, it goes by the same philosophy. The longer that you hold down the trigger, the more horizontal sway that you'll get with any AR SMG, and LMG. We are now making sure that burst fire is the favored way to approach any kind of one-on-one interaction. We looked at sustained fire, and it has a lot of randomness that doesn't answer to what the core of Siege is, which is
I can't wait to get
gunplay. So the big differences here is the longer you pull down the trigger, the more you'll have in recoil. We always want to encourage strategy, holding the correct angle, and crosshair placement over holding down the trigger and spraying and praying. And that's why these changes are focusing on burst fire, making sure that you make a decisive shot and you hit it, so that we don't reward luck as much as we reward skill in the game. Another reason why...
Okay, that's good. But I can already tell there's gonna be people that can't control recoil. That's gonna get some very lucky kills, which is gonna happen no matter what. But I overall like these changes. I don't know if that's what they plan on doing to LMGs in general. Just, you know, I don't know how bad the recoil is. I'm gonna have to see it. But I hope the recoil is enough where Finka and Zofia aren't so prominent when they're using LMGs.
Why this is a big change for us is the idea of bringing customization and the tools to players to make the decisions they want to make when it comes to their loadout. We're really opening up customization and attachments this season because of these changes. If you want to deal with recoil, we give you new options. Muzzle brake and flash hiders are coming to all of these weapon families. We're also bringing more grips, angled and vertical, and more scopes than ever before. That means that you can build your loadout the way that you want to play, and it means that you're not stuck with a meta weapon. The other thing we're looking at too is making sure that every piece of customization is meaningful.
Is that Bandit with a 1.5?
Choice between them all. Silencers now will be available without the damage debuff, making it that much more interesting to play with. With all of these new changes, we have a new ecosystem of weapons.
Okay, if you guys didn't know what a suppressor does in this game, besides the debuff in terms of the damage, you're gonna get a slight more bit of recoil, but with suppressors in Siege, if you know bullet tracers, basically you'll have no bullet tracers, and of course that will debug the audio, so it can be very useful. So I feel like suppressors will now be the meta in Siege, just because now the damage debuff is gone. Of course, you get the tiniest bit of recoil added on from what I've noticed with suppressors. And besides that, like, you can make some really good plays and like mess up people's sound and not have bullet tracers. So that's going to be interesting for the next season.
Weapons for players to play with. You can figure out what works for you, and it gives new freedom to how you want to play the game. And it also focuses on the tactical gameplay that we have in Siege. One of the positive impacts that are going to come out of this is new weapons that have long been determined not part of the meta or forgotten or nerfed to the point where they aren't used anymore could get a second life.
Like the M7?
Is always really important for us in Siege, especially when it's something as important as recoil. We organize a creators workshop, bringing people in to experience the gameplay changes, to get their feedback. We had Q&A sessions, and we won't stop there. It's really important
That's what I like to hear.
That we grow on this, and that we check to maintain the health of the meta of the game, and we get all of your feedback as well.
Holy hell.
These are subtle changes that are changing the way that we can introduce new attachments and new ways to play the game, and we really do believe that this reinforces what Siege is all about.
Overall, I like what they're doing now, because now if all operators have scopes, like 1.5 times scopes, then defenders like Alibi, for example, are going to be less favored, because you get operators like, for example, Vigil with the K1A or with 1.5 times scope. Of course, Jaeger is still going to be amazing, but I don't know if everybody's getting a 1.5 times scope. I might be misunderstanding that, but that's a good change for defenders.
As we introduced in the Year 7 season reveal, we were working on the EMP impact grenade. So that's alternative to Thatcher, that it's the only one that can use the EMP grenade. So that's a little bit what we already do in the game with Maverick, Ivana or Termite, and we added the Heartbreed secondary gadget. This new EMP impact grenade will have a range of 2 meters instead of 5 meters of the Thatcher's one. Also, gadgets and electricity will be disabled during 9 seconds instead of 15. It will work as an impact, so it detonates on impact. Thatcher, for sure, will continue being the main operator to disable electricity.
Thatcher's still going to be banned.
Operators that will have the EMP impact as the third option are Sledge, Montaigne, Blackbird, Doka Heavy, Lion, Gridlock, Knock, Osa, and the Recruit, and will be equipped with 2 gadget units. We hope that this change will have a positive impact on our players, because they will work on more situations to win the match, and also they will be able to play Thatcher with his cool loadout. We know that you had a little preview of this feature during the last test server, so we are going to introduce it right now. If the operator falls into DBNO while wearing an armor plate from Rook, they will be able to use the withstand ability. Once the withstand animation is finished, the operator will revive with 20 health points. The objective is to give more value to the Rook's armor plate, which can help us a lot if we fall into DBNO.
That's a cool animation.
The Dokaebi logic bomb was not affecting the operators on the support mode, so from now, the dead operators will be affected as the live ones, but the logic bomb cannot be interrupted. With this change, we will be giving more importance to Dokaebi's ability and will be more consistent.
Those are actually some really good changes for Rook, once again, because Rook has been a very underwhelming operator. I don't care what anybody says. And the Dokubi change of people that's dead, that affecting them as well, that's really good, because now you have a more strategic window with Dokubi now, because instead of having somebody on cams, you can be like, okay, let's execute off this Dokubi call in the site where they might have like a Maestro cam, a Echo cam, a BP, whatever, and you could just flood site a lot easier without having to worry about that intel for that slight window. That's a really good change.
We've got 2 more new features to highlight that are coming this season. A new map ban system and a significant upgrade to the tactical map. From our Barcelona studio, here's game designer Robert Cole to share more details.
So right now, the way the tactical map works is that it will show the spawn and objective locations.
This guy's handsome.
But it's true that it forces players to remember a lot of information. And even if the attackers find the objective, it will not be shown in the tactical map. We're doing a couple of quality of life changes to display the location of the objective once the attackers find it during the preparation phase. The attackers will also be able to see a list of potential objectives by the defense and also an icon next to the locked objectives. This will help players with their map knowledge, and it will also show previously hidden information that maybe more experienced players already knew. But overall, it will help players focus on decisions that matter, like planning their attack instead of feeling lost around the tactical map. We have been monitoring the map ban and pick rate, as well as the community sentiment regarding map distribution. If we take a look at the data right now, we can see how we have 3 to 4 maps with over 10% of the play rate, as well as maps below the 4% mark. We understand that map ban has room for improvements, and we want to address some of these concerns with this season changes. We're changing the map ban phase to contain 5 maps instead of 3. That way, if both teams decide to ban one map, the final decision will be a random between the 3 remaining maps.
I noticed this last season, I was getting more of the non-picked maps in my map rotation, and I think that's what they were doing for this data for this next season. And because I was playing like maps like Theme Park Villa like constantly, and I was constantly getting them in my map pool. But this is a very interesting change because now it's more random, and you do have a decision for one map, and I kind of like this now because I'm kind of sick of playing the same few maps over and over, and then people getting upset when you get the map. The only thing that's gonna really suck is when people, you know, leave games and dodge. But this is a really good change. Having 5 maps, you get a pick of 1, and then the team gets a 1, and then the random throws 3. That's good.
As well as, if both teams decide to ban the same map, the final decision will be between the 4 remaining maps. In the same case, if both teams decide not to ban any map, the final decision will be a random between the 5 remaining maps. With this change, we aim at increasing map diversity while also maintaining the player agency of being able to ban maps from the pool. We will continue to monitor the situation and the performance of this change, but also make any adjustments necessary as part of our commitment on increasing map diversity. We know that this will help with map representation, but we also have future plans to tackle the exact problem of new maps being banned.
Before we wrap it up, let's talk Brutal Swarm Battle Pass. Starting this season, the Battle Pass will come with a discount on all items in the shop. And if you like, you can buy one for your friend as a treat. For more details, here's Business Strategy Director Mohammed Ben Hanada.
We're truly excited to bring back one of the perks that was in the year pass prior. So we're bringing back the shop discount. So what this means is for the Battle Pass owners, you'll be able to have the 10% shop discount during the season where you have the Battle Pass. And for our year pass owners, you will have it up until the end of year 7. This 10% discount will apply on any items on the shop, whether it's on Arxis Credit or Renown. So this means Alpha Packs, Collection Packs, Elites, or Esports items. All of this will be at a 10% reduction. We know that Siege is a game that is best played with your friends. So we want you to be able to also experience the Battle Pass with one of your friends. So during Season 2, we soft launched the Buy for a Friend feature for the Battle Pass. We're more confident in the system now, so in Season 3, we're deploying it everywhere. So what this means is that for you, as a player, you will be able to purchase the Battle Pass for one of your friends. For the moment, buying the Battle Pass for one of your friends and gifting it
what about console?
is actually going to be only for the same platform as you. But looking in the future, once we'll be cross-platform and cross-progression, this is something that we'll be looking at. The only condition that you have for buying a Battle Pass is that you have to be friends with a person for more than 90 days for now.
More than 90 days?
Buying for a friend is a feature that we'll be looking into.
I'm pretty sure they're doing that so people don't get scammed, I guess. If someone hacks your account, that makes sense.
Expanding to other type of categories in the future. So maybe we'll look into esports items, elites, but for now, we'll gather your feedback on how it performs around the Battle Pass.
Be sure to share your feedback on R6 Fix, and thanks for sticking around to the end for our One More Thing. Castle Elite.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Why the hell is he shooting? Like, I understand it's why is he shooting a shotgun from so far away? That's pretty badass. It's cool. It fits Castle, you know, and his backstory, so that's good. And we got the release date for the next season, September 6th. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that they finally gave that to us. Overall, I don't know. I feel like going into next season, it is going to be a little bit underwhelming with the cheater issue and whatnot. That's gonna suck in all honesty, but I do like these changes that they're coming down with. But in all honesty, no matter what they do and what releases they add into the game, it's gonna be overwhelmed just by cheaters. So none of these things that they're adding is going to really matter if we can, as a player, enjoy the player experience. Literally, like this, I haven't played Siege in the last week. I haven't been able to stream in the past week. It's just getting worse and worse. So I really need to shut up and stop being a broken record. But Ubisoft, please do something about the anti-cheat. Please. Besides that, if you guys enjoyed the video, I guess, let me know down in the comments what you're excited to see going into next season. And yeah, thank you so much for making it this far into the video, and have a lovely day.